Timothy Wamai, persistent and reserved. Emmanuel Maina, creative. Success Kingori, responsible and disciplined. Samvin Munene, cheerful and well-groomed. Timothy Weru, kind-hearted and jovial. Kent Mungai, compassionate and industrious. Ferdinand Karuku, humble and innovative. Empathetic and hardworking. Lewis Mashira, curious and gentle. Tere, influential and approachable. John Munga, God-fearing and warm-hearted. Michael Ndomo, artistic and quiet. Lewis Wairago, brilliant and organized. Emmanuel Gashorohio, outstanding and realistic. Finally, Ernest Ngaruya, who was talented and visionary. Roy Victor was in grade 6, joined school on January 2016, on 6th of September 2024. John Com was in grade 7, born on 20th July 2011, joined school on January 2023, and succumbed. Was in grade 8 on January 2023, was born on 9th July 2010, and succumbed on 5th September 2024. Emmanuel Maina gave out on the same day. Timothy Wero Gadhogo, born on 11, joined the school on January 2024 and succumbed the same day. Ferdinand Karuku was 15 and succumbed the same day.
Professor,
yes.
Let us talk about this issue of these pupils that there's their memorial ceremonies done today. I've been asking myself a lot of questions. That why is it that when something happens, people don't bother? They don't see the impact.
Yeah.
And then now when things now starting becoming hot, because this issue of the pupils that died, it was not that much serious by then. Okay, according to politicians, they were thinking that maybe this one is just a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like they were saying that, I remember Gashagu and the first lady saying that was God's will for how can we say that it was God's will for the children to die? Now, the painful part of it is that I've been watching it today and looking at how the politicians were there. The 21 pupils are there now, the ceremony is done. All leaders from different parts of the country with the different vehicles, big, small vehicles, and the kind of memorial that is being done for these children. And I ask myself that suppose these people engaged before, all these things could have not happened, or if at all, maybe they could have happened. And another question, Professor, since this thing happened, if we are saying that it was God's will, or assume that maybe it was God's will, why is it that not even the president, the heritage of this school have been questioned?
Yeah, so first of all, let us demystify this nonsense called God's will.
Yeah.
As a theologian, people think God's will means that when something happens bad, it means God has allowed. No. God's will is this way. God works according to nature, isn't it? Like now, you know very well there's water. Jump in the water and say, if it's God's will, I will not die.
I will not die.
God will respect nature. If you don't know how to swim and you jump in the water, you'll suffocate and die.
Yeah.
When there's fire, and you said, let me jump on the fire.
If it God's will,
and if it's God's will, I will not get burnt.
Yeah.
You'll get burnt.
Exactly.
Don't try God. The same way, there's a train moving. You jump on the train and say it's God's will. God does not disobey the law of nature because God created nature. How would God go against the very nature God has created? Have you heard that science, which is reason, and faith go together? And it cannot violate the other. Do you know why? God is the very person who created reason in your head,
Yeah.
even to come up with science, isn't it? Even to understand nature and science. And the same way, the very God is the person who created faith in you. So because God has created faith and science, God cannot go against his own creation. So if you are a teacher, you decide to be careless about students' safety in a dormitory, then you say it's God's will. No, it's not God's will. We know very well that if fire breaks up in a dormitory and the door is locked from outside, there is no other science God can use to open the door from inside. You understand? God must obey nature. And the way of nature is also to allow fair competition. You get me?
Yeah, I get
For
you.
example, if you are running for a seat, and the law of nature is that you have to convince people to vote for you, and for you are not doing and you are in church praying, do you think God is going to change those people's heads because somebody is busy talking to the people, telling them, listening to them, solving their problems? For you are busy praying. You see, Pius Miru wanted to become the president. He said, kuna nuru gizani. He was disobeying science. Hakuna nuru gizani. It is impossible. The law of nature is that when there is light, there is no darkness, because God must obey the law of nature. So it is out of the carelessness of the people there, or lack of the carelessness, because I have another theory. When you ask the question, why do politicians always like crisis to take place so that they show off? For example, you saw Kalonzo Musyoka, you saw Eugene Wamalwa, you saw all those big people reading speeches in Mwega, isn't it? For them, it's an opportunity to talk to the mountain. They are not looking at those 21 people dead there.
So to them, yani kwao wenye wamepata nafasi ya kuzungumza na watu na watu wa milima, sio kwamba yani wameenda hapo kwa sababu wameenda
not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because the point I'm trying to draw here, kama we ni mzazi, if you are a parent in that school, what would you want to happen to you on that day? They didn't do. Either focus on how the truth can come out. How did these people get burnt? Or now that the school has got fire, dormitory has been burnt, for the surviving children, they want the school to continue. How many vehicles did you see? I've told you, Rigathi Gachagua had 30. Isn't it? How many governors were there? There are around 10 governors, isn't it? Each of them were in 3 vehicles, isn't it? Kalonzo Musyoka had his motorcade. Wamalo had his motorcade. Everybody was there in decorated vehicles. There was even a field where some choppers were landing, isn't it? And the parking was even designated a whole stadium for parking.
For parking, yeah.
How much does it take to build a dormitory?
It doesn't take much.
Do you know that some people's travel there was enough to build a dormitory? So if they came and if someone said, let us send money to Nyeri, we are not going to Nyeri, let them build a dormitory, and they don't want to appear, it could have helped Nyeri people. But they rather spend the money to come there, to be seen and make speeches and become popular, than to help those children and to solve the challenges of the people. Do you know why Kibaki never traveled everywhere? Kibaki never traveled everywhere. Kibaki focused on the problem.
What can I do?
What can I do? Because you can travel, but the problem persists. All this travel William Ruto is making throughout the country, in town hall, explaining. Why do you need to explain? Do you know, God gives us rainfall. Have you ever seen God calling a press conference to tell us that I've given you rain?
No. You can't do that.
Must God come here to know, so that we know he has sent us rainfall? Must God come here so that we can have sunshine? Why are we not seeing God, but we are seeing what God is doing? What is important? Lucy Kibaki said, mtu anaongea sana hana wakati wa kufanya. So according to me, what those people needed was not done. The third question you asked, which for me is my main point. How comes that now these people died on 5th of September? Today is 20?
Today is 27th.
Isn't it? Those are 22 days. action has been taken even to show anybody is focusing on solving the problem. First, have you heard the owner of the school being questioned? It's a private school, isn't it? How comes? Private school. Have you had any explanation leading to the cause of the fire? But have you had 71 other children have disappeared and no one knows where they are and they're from that school?
Yes.
This fire was meant to cover up. Because one, how come these people locked the door, emergency door, from outside, knowingly? On the same day, Nyeri, which is Endarasha, isn't it? The parents who came to the school very early in the morning to look at the status of their children, they found themselves with a fantastically prepared breakfast to eat. And they were crying, they cannot even eat. To prepare such a breakfast in such a village is not a coincidence. You cannot. Have ever travels, for example, I sometimes can go to Kisumu by 6 a.m. I'm in Kisumu. You're looking for a place to do breakfast. It might take even up to 7:30, 8 o'clock before you can find a place to get a good breakfast.
Even in town.
Yes, in town, isn't it? Yeah. What about a village in Endarasha? Who went and prepared all those ndomas and cut them into pieces, bread with butter and all. What I'm trying to tell you in short is that there is something that the government is hiding in this thing. There's something the government knows. These people might be involved in human sacrifice. Not because I believe in human sacrifice. Some of us think that these things work. They don't work. They don't work. Some people are thinking the position they have in politics is because of human sacrifice. It's not true. Witch doctors cheat people left, right, and center. How can a witch doctor tell you that they can make you become number one in class and you are in the same class with his daughter or son and the daughter and the son cannot see number one?
In fact, you even defeat the daughter.
Yes.
He or she cannot even make the daughter perform well.
How can someone tell you that he wants to make you president and they also have children? Will it not be better for them to make their children president so that they can actually gain more? And
Professor, these witch doctors, by the way, let us at least talk about them. These guys are liars because there is no way you can tell someone that I want to make you marry. Yet the witch doctor himself does not have a wife.
Yes, and they can give you dawa ya kutongoza mwanamke.
And they cannot do that by themselves.
For them, even they were helped to have a wife.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a time I spent the time in a cell, I spent some time in a cell. I was arrested. And I was in a cell for quite some time, 27 days. And I met somebody who was pretending to be a witch doctor. So, in a cell, there's nothing you're doing. So, I spent some time to interrogate even the mindset. What this guy was doing to women was amazing. I can give you one anecdote which was touching most. This man discovered that the most desperate woman in this world is a woman married to a rich person who cannot have a baby. That woman will do anything to a witch doctor. Anything.
A woman married to
a rich man. And they are not able to have a baby. Because the woman wants to have a baby for this man for security. This man would ask a woman, he would sleep with them. Have sex with them. And he says, alikuwa na dawa anasukuma ndani yake. Ati hiyo dawa akisukuma ndani ya mwanamke ndio sasa atasa.
na asukumi na mkono.
Na akasukumi na mkono. Ati na kusukumia dawa. And you know what's happening? In the presence of the husband.
In the presence of the husband?
Yes.
That is smart.
Ati anasukuma dawa.
And the husband is watching.
But you see, they are desperate. A man is thinking, maybe there's something wrong with me. You start doubting it. These things are lies. And the guy was telling me what they were doing. And that is one act that I said, this is sad. Imagine you marry a woman. I would, for me, I got married. For 3 years, we never had a baby. Many people reach out to me with those, but excuse me, man. God will give me a baby at the right time.
At the right time. We are not in a competition.
Say, one day I was just coming from work, and then my wife told me, babe, you know what?
The joy.
Read this paper. I'm pregnant. I'm like, wow. We never did anything that we believed in God.
Compromising yourself simply because you want a baby, you are desperate for a baby.
So what I'm telling people is that witch doctor is a business. Just like you are trying to do business by trying to sell samosas, selling njugu, selling maize, selling tea, selling kangumu on the street. It's the same way the doctor is hustling. These witch doctors are hustling. They are lying to you. For me, I grew up in a village in Ugenya. They believe that in Ugenya, there are people, if they look at you, they can put a bottle in your stomach and your stomach starts aching, called sihoho. Isn't it?
Yeah, and you assume that you're going for prayers and this being taken out.
It can be taken out. So there's a day, my father taught me that we need to work hard. So we used to have the first maize. You see, when the first maize that watu wana roast ya kwanza, tulikuwa nayo. So the day we went to pluck the first maize, we were coming from the shamba, nimebeba zingine with my mother. So we met this woman in our village who is known to be giving sihoho. So my mother told me, please give her. I told her, no, why? He told me, Fred, if you don't give her, he'll put something. I told her, give me. I told the woman, you give me that your thing. Give me, I see. Do you know, my family was in mourning for 1 week. That something will happen to me. It never
simply
happened.
because you threatened.
Yes, and I'm here today. This one I'm speaking over 30 years from now. From then. So, Kenyans, don't be deceived. There's a law of science. Believe in God first, then work hard. Because the doctor's instruction is always looking like the medical doctor's instruction. When you go to a medical doctor, they tell you, wewe ukitaka elimu, ensure that you buy for that your son a book. Maybe the doctor has discovered you don't buy for your children a book, so they are telling you, chukua hii dawa, umwage kwa kichwa yako, then after that you buy for him a book. Isn't it? Then tell your daughter not to look at people's work. Let them do their own work. They are simply giving you instruction on how to read. Work hard.
They use psychology.
Those are nonsense. Work hard. For me, I knew that when I go to school, I don't copy people's work. I have to understand what the teacher is saying. Then I have to do the work.
Because by copying, you'll not understand anything.
Yes, when I am wrong, I get corrected. I get an X, I go work on it again. But a doctor, these people, it is a joke. Just like a medical doctor, after they diagnose you, they tell you, nenda ukunywe hii dawa, asubuhi, mchana, na jioni. Sivyo? So hiyo dawa ndio na kutibu. There is no magic. So hii dawa ya witch doctor pia ni dawa yake, anakuwa hii wewe fanya hivi, enda uombe Mungu. Kabla hujafanya hivi, omba Mungu. Maybe the doctor means that you don't pray. The witch doctor has discovered you don't pray.
You don't believe. In fact,
so he's telling you
they also pray.
Yes. Yeah. They are telling you that before you go to bed, rusha hii kwa kitanda alafu uombe. So what is helping you ni maombi.
It's not their word. It's not their drug or their medicine.
So people have been deceived. I've seen people who have killed others hoping this will work. People have sacrificed their children. They have sacrificed their relatives, their brothers and sisters for wealth which did not happen. I can tell you, my brother, when Moi became rich, they said Moi is a free mansion, isn't it? Moi was buried by AIC church, by pastors. I didn't see the devils coming to preside over his mass, isn't it? Did you hear about the story about free mansion?
No.
Those things don't exist. Huh? You hear another one is called what? This one, if you get rich, they say you are what?
The Illuminati.
Those things don't exist. When you believe in them, they take control of your psychology. Because human beings were very psychological and spiritual. That's why in Luo we talk about jogi. Wanaingia kwa spirit yako. Then you start operating as if they are in control of you. No, there's nothing. Go and if you have, I'm telling any Kenyan listening to me, if you have anything you think is helping you, you're putting something in your pocket working with, go cast that thing, look to God, and then start using science. Work hard, you'll succeed. I became a professor from a very poor family just by believing in God and working hard. That's all.
Nothing more.
As these rich people, they don't believe in those nonsense. So according to me, people tell you, oh, kuna dawa ya biashara. Kuna dawa ya biashara. Know how to talk to customers. Know how to explain about the value of your product and services you are selling. Know how to open your workplace on time. biashara yako unafungua mapema, hiyo place iwe safi, wafanyakazi wawe safi, ujue kuongea na watu wa biashara, usiseme ati mtu anakupatia dawa unaweka chini ya meza alafu watu watakuja kukula. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. McDonald's is a business. Wako na dawa gani? KFC, mbona unaendaga kukula KFC? Ni tamu. Hiyo kuku ni tamu. Yeah. It is not that kuna dawa.
Jinsi ambavyo
why do you drink Coke?
Maandalizi.
Why do you drink Coke? Yeah. Because Coke has marketed the product, made it available, make it look nice, package it well. Do the same. Don't go to which doctor that you want to sell. If Coke is doing because of mganga gani anasaidia Coke, tell me which doctor is helping Coke. No. Which one is helping Safaricom? Which one is helping Equity Bank? Which one is helping KCB? Na wewe biashara yako ndogo unataka kuwa na mganga. Mganga gani anasaidia hao watu? Which mganga amesaidia Apple? Which mganga inasaidia TV Samsung? Which mganga anasaidia Sony radio? Kama hakuna mganga behind successful business, it means that hakuna mganga atakusaidia wewe pia kwa hiyo biashara yako ndogo. So let us not injure human beings because watu wengine wametudanganya that kuna witch doctor. So these things of human sacrifice is against God. Jesus died on the cross and said it is over. That's it is over. There is no more sacrifice that can suffice the one of Jesus. If you are a Muslim, the same way Muhammad did it for us, isn't it? If you are a Hindu, isn't it? You know, Buddha did it for us. Let us not start doing our own nonsense that we are sacrificing. So I've heard very obnoxious stories. I even heard someone trying to explain something very painful. I saw that I'm trying to say that Raila Odinga sacrificed Fidel so that Raila Odinga can become president. That is nonsense. Raila Odinga doesn't believe in such like things. If he does, then I'll be so surprised. Why don't those, instead of going to Unga, instead of traveling to China, going to Mauritius, akitaka AU, why don't he go to which doctor then?
And tell me that nataka kuwa.
Yes. For Raila Odinga to become as famous as he is, he has been running everywhere, campaigning, talking to people. Why is he not carrying those things with you and telling you he can be a witch doctor? I even heard some people saying that they could help Raila win a presidency through witch doctor. No, you must get the vote. That is the science. Yeah. You have to know how to talk to people. Raila has done that for a long time. He knows it. So many people have won governors without going to a witch doctor. Wewe unataka kuwa governor through witch doctor. When I wanted to run for MP, so many people came to me and told me, Professor, we need to cut your body. Because I was being told that the sitting member of parliament of Ugenya, the night before the election, huwa analala ndani ya ng'ombe. Alafu hiyo ng'ombe inakatwa the next day for people to eat.
How do you sleep?
And then it rains so heavily. I've heard those nonsense stories. I don't believe in them. David Ochieng, I know him. He's a staunch ACK person. Sivyo. Yeye ni mtu anaomba kanisa. Sasa people want to relate. You know, which doctors tell you a story? That he's the one who made David Ochieng become an MP through sacrifices. Because he wants you, when you're mjinga, you give him money. So he pretends he's the one who made Kalonzo. I'm the one who made Raila. Mindo nimekata Kenyatta. Yeah. I'm the one who made... He's trying to put other people's success to attribute to him so that you can go to them. Reject. Go and worship God. Bank first on God. Second, bank on your hard work. You'll succeed. Anything else is a waste of time. And that's why I hate anybody who thought that by sacrificing the children in Endarasha, they would be successful. They are going to fail. God is not happy. God in heaven is seeing the tears of the parents and relatives of those children.
Jo Professor, nilikuwa na wakati ujumbe tulipata ujumbe, nilikuwa najaribu kuangalia yule mama ambaye alikuwa analia akisema kwamba sisi hatutaki chakula, kitu ambacho tunataka watoto wetu. It was so much painful. It really I really felt it like nilikuwa na, yani I felt like no, this now, let me assume that now this is our brother or sister. It's really so much painful. And then serikali unapata serikali jinsi umesema wanaleta chakula. Itakuwaje unaletea mtu ambaye amepoteza mtoto wake chakula ale? Atapata nguvu wapi ya kula chakula?
Na haki
haijatendeka.
Wajua, closure happens when you know exactly what happened. Yeah. You know, sisi wanaume tukiwa kwa nyumba, like I have a wife, when she complains, Don't worry, sweetheart. Let's focus on the future. Please let us know why did this happen. So sometimes I have to sit down and explain myself because I want peace, isn't it? People need to be told why. That's why. Why is an important question. Why? And they were crying. Why?
Why? Yeah.
Why me? Why my son? Not chakula. Hiyo chakula watapata.
Kwa nini mtoto wangu?
Na ukimpatia chakula leo, utampatia chakula kila siku.
Utampa.
Do you know, for example, if you go to Endarasha, most of those families are from very poor families who lost their kids, isn't it? Lazima ujue Boniface, niliambiwa, the poor counts their wealth in their children. I asked my mother one day, when life was hard at home, Mommy, you knew very well that you are not rich, Dad is not rich. Mbona mlizaa watoto 11? My mother told me, son, you are 11. Not all of you will fail. One will succeed. And if one succeeds, we'll pull the rest. And if that one pulls the rest, I'll be okay. So I'm betting on having many, just in case also they die, because also we are poor. So Mugonja, when the disease comes, it can wipe out the whole family. So also we give. So a poor person banks on the children. Ndio maana most maskini wanakuanga na watoto wengi. Na tajiri wanapata moja mbili. Alafu pia ashatengeneza. Alafu pia inasemanga kwa hakuna mchezo nyumbani, mchezo ni moja. Ya mchezo ni katandani peke yake. Wajua tajiri anaweza enda kucheza golf, sivyo? Lakini huyu jamaa golf yake ni hapo kitanda. So anyway, the issue of poverty brings more reasons why we need to have more children. So these people, their wealth is those their children. It's not the food. That's why they have to ask the why question. Why me? Why us? Why now? Why at this age? Why not? Why would they not? They look for what could have been done to prevent it. Why lock the door? Who locked that door? Why did he or she lock the door from outside? You know, they even wonder if they could have just taken their kids to another school, they would be alive. They ask many questions.
And sometimes...
And that is what we're supposed to be focusing on. Now, I even heard the president saying that, Wadaleta Msada, Kalonzo said they are going to build another memorial school to remember about...
Saying that they should even change the name of the school. And Professor, that is not all. Now, I think now the people that are now remaining with a lot of questions that they're asking themselves are the 71 parents.
Yeah.
At least these ones now knows that I'm going to bury my child there.
Yeah.
But now these ones that they don't know where their children are.
But I'm saying that's where the government needs to come in to explain. I had some rumors that some of them were found in the border.
In Uganda.
In Uganda.
3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them.
Yeah.
Which means that some of them are at large. But some of them might have been done for something which is very devilish. The government has intelligence. In fact, you know, Bon, I've gone to court severally, sometimes because of this pain. There's a case in court called habeas corpus. Habeas corpus is calling upon the government intelligence system to come and explain on whereabouts. Just like the one we did with Bob Njagi, the one we did with the Longton brothers. So I think that somebody needs to go to court. You know, going to court is expensive. People think that when we go to court is fun. No, there's no fun. Putting up a petition is around 300,000 shillings. Then appearing to court every day with all these judges postponing, hearing, mention. It can cost you your life savings. We have gone to court until now we are very poor. Now we don't even know what to do. Not that we don't want. It's just like we don't have the money.
Yeah, they don't have the money. Nobody can support that.
No one can support and no one really cares. Yeah. And when you go to court, the government is fighting you. You have no living to earn. Your government is always on your neck. You cannot even work. So I don't know, but I think that somebody needs to go to court. If anybody is hearing me, you can help. Somebody needs to go to court. And when they go to court, they need to ask for the government to explain the whereabouts of these kids. I don't have got the financial muscle. I'm going to court on their behalf, but I also don't want to ask for money because of the thing I'm asking for money. I'm doing business. No, me, I have no business in doing business about people's lives. This is a painful thing that I would do for free if I had the money. But you cannot do it without money. And the vehicles that were going there, those people who flew to Nyeri, the money they have is enough to go to court and ask for these answers on behalf of these parents. But because they don't want, they just want to look popular. It's about a popularity contest, which then you cannot be enjoying popularity when somebody has lost a child.
That's true.
It's very painful. Yeah.
Wow. There's so much painful. Mtazamaji, unisikia, yani hili jambo la waganga. Profesa anasema kwamba halipo kabisa. Wewe muamini Mungu, fanya kazi yako, jitume. Yani licha yote cha muhimu na cha msingi ni wewe uzidi kujituma kabisa. Kama una biashara, wewe fungua biashara yako mapema, amini Mungu, usiende kwa mganga. Una biashara ndogo unashaanza kwenda kwa mganga hatakusaidia. Mtu ambaye atakusaidia ni Mwenyezi Mungu. Na wale pia ambao ni wagonjwa, usikimbie kwa mganga kwamba unataka kupona ama unataka kuponywa. Mponyaji ni mmoja ambaye ni Mungu. Hata daktari anakutibu lakini anakuambia nakutibu lakini naye Mungu atakuponya. Hayo ndio tuko nayo kwa sasa. Tukutane tena wakati mwingine. Mimi wako Boniface Owino. Bye bye.